Hello, everyone, and welcome to this really short session. I just wanted to run something today just to celebrate the Day of the African Child. And this is just a really short session that I've recorded for you so that we can just share a little bit together about the successes of the current time with you in the early childhood centres, as well as what we're aspiring to. Now, we want to build successful children, and there's a few things that we need to keep in mind when we do that. I'm Dr. Kathryn Murray, and I've probably met many of you before who are listening to this session. And we're just going to have just a quick little 20-minute session today, sharing some information about brain development and sharing a little bit about the Day of the African Child celebrations. Because, you know, back in 2016, the African Committee decided that there were some things that needed to be put in place to make Africa a great country for young children. So they developed an agenda, and they've got these aspirations that they want to achieve by 2040. So there's 10 main things that they really hope are going to happen by 2040. So the first few are around just being, achieving children's rights, acknowledging the rights of the child, and understanding that children have rights just as adults do. The next few aspirations are more about health and development, and keeping children well, making sure they have food, shelter, and just being cared for. Now, the one that really relates to us and what we do is this one, the sixth one. And that's about children benefiting from quality education. Now, that's what we're here for. That's what we're all about, aren't we? And you are already doing a great job in a really difficult circumstances because, you know, we've had COVID, we've had children away from centres, we've had children in centres, we've had, you know, a bit of a mixture, we've had a bit of online stuff happening, and it's really tough. So throughout that whole time, though, as great early childhood educators, you know, we're all concerned about the quality of the education that we are able to deliver to young children. And that's something I want to talk to you a little bit about in this really short session. So we've got those six, but we've got four more too. And that's really taking care of children and making sure that they're safe. They are not in violent situations. They're not in armed conflicts. And we also want to make sure that children have a say in some of the things that happen in their lives, that they're invited to be part of the decision-making process, to take care of themselves. Now, we have to really think about providing quality education, and what does that look like and what does that sound like? When we're thinking about this, we need to really understand that we're all individuals, aren't we? And we all have really unique skills and we have unique talents, just like every child that we come into contact with. But what we need to know is how we draw out the strengths from each of those children so that they shine and that they feel good about themselves and that they feel safe. They feel safe to take some risks in their learning. So that's when we come back to how do we do that? If children are away in their homes and we don't have access to them all the time, or if children are with us in our centres and you know, we're not sure how we can actually make them feel safe and give them quality opportunities to develop their education. So some of the things that I think we should keep in mind are that in our classrooms, there's so many things that can make children unique and also build on that diversity in our classrooms. So, you know, we have boys and we have girls, we have children from different types of backgrounds. We have, in many cases, across the world, we have children of different cultural backgrounds as well. We have different social backgrounds, different socioeconomic levels. We might have children with disabilities as well. So in every room, there's a range of different children, just as for educators, there's a range of educators. So what we're aiming for, though, is to be able to treat all children the same, even though they're different, and make sure that we can bring out each person's talents and each person's skills in a way that's really going to connect with them. So we all have this purpose. All the children have a purpose in life, and we have a purpose in life. And at the moment, to be in line with the 2040 aspirations, we want to build and develop a quality education program for the children that are in your care and come to you for education and care each day and each week. So how do we do that? Well, we've got to really consider the brain and what that means when we're setting up our classroom environments, when we're talking to children, when we're setting up learning activities. What does that actually mean to provide quality education? Now, across the world, children's brains are the same. Basically, in really simple terms, there are 3 levels of the brain. There's the brain stem, which is here at the back of the head, and that connects to the top of the spine. We have the brain stem. Now, the brain stem is all about survival. It's all about making sure the heart keeps beating, making sure that the lungs keep breathing, making sure that your body moves fast enough when you need to, to get yourself out of trouble or to get yourself out of a dangerous situation. Then we go up to the limbic system, and that's where our emotions are kept. And that sits just in here behind your ear. And that connects nicely to that brainstem and the survival area. So if you're feeling unsafe, if you're feeling worried, if you're feeling anxious, your brain takes over and keeps you safe. So it brings you back into that survival mode. So if you're feeling a little bit anxious in the classroom, well, then your brain will put you into fight, flight, or freeze mode. So fight might be to be hitting other children, or to be a little bit aggressive, or to be talking back and saying things that maybe shouldn't be said. That's the fight. The flight might mean that children run away. They turn their back on us because they don't want to deal with it. They're trying to keep themselves safe. And the freeze just means that children can't think. There's a big rush of cortisol, the chemical cortisol in the brain when they're feeling under pressure and they can't think. That may have happened to you at some point too, and we call that foggy brain, when we're feeling under pressure and we can't think. So we might be in an argument or might be in some sort of situation that makes us feel a little bit under pressure and we can't think. You walk away and you say, oh, I wish I would have said that. That's foggy brain, and that's part of that freeze mechanism. And we do that to keep ourselves safe. So we have the brain stem, that's the reptilian brain. We have the limbic system, and that's in the mammalian brain part. And then at the top, we have the neocortex, and that's the thinking part of the brain. Now, when we put all of these 3 together, we learn. So we have to have children feeling safe in the classroom to start with. So that safety could mean just that they're in a building that they feel safe in, but it also could be the emotional relationship that we have with the children so that they feel emotionally safe, so that it's okay. They know it's okay to say something to the teacher or to say something to their friends. They know it's okay, that it's safe. And then we also want them to feel as though they're valued, that we love them. We want them to feel that they're safe. We want them to feel confident. We want them to feel as though they're special and unique, as we started off saying right at the beginning of this short little session. So we want those 2 to link together. When they do, then that opens up this top part of the brain, the thinking part of the brain, so that children can remember things. They can take something that they've learned in one space to another space. So if they've learned how to do some special gluing with some special glue, they can take it from the the collage table or from the gluing table over to another area and still know how to use the same things. So it's that adaptability. They're called executive functioning skills. So it's that short-term memory that will kick in, the long-term memory will kick in, that ability to learn something in one context and then use it in a different context. And also to be able to self-regulate emotions. So not to cry all the time, not to push and prod and poke other children, being able to manage our emotions and being able to manage our behaviours. All of that can happen if children feel safe and if they feel as though they're wanted and they feel as though they belong. So that's part of my brain set framework approach for setting up a classroom. This is just a little snippet of a much bigger picture of what that might look like. So in summary, we want children to feel safe. We want them to feel, well, they need to know that they're safe. We want them to feel loved and feel valued. And then we want to have stimulating activities that allow children to explore materials, that allow children to use their imagination, that allow children to be creative. And that's what we're looking for in the centres at the moment, if the children are coming into you. It's really important not to focus too much on the learning side of things. We have to get children feeling safe. We have to let them know that they're safe with us. We have to get them feeling as though they can interact and start to play again. Let them play. That's way more important than anything else that you could do at the moment. We need to encourage that interaction, that human interaction. We need to have that safety, those great feelings, and that ability and that space to be able to think, problem solve, make decisions. And that's how we can start to put together a quality education program and address one of the aspirations for the African child. So to finish, I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to this short little presentation. And I want to wish you a happy day of the African child. If you want to contact me, there's my contact details on the slide there. You can also contact Elizabeth. And as you know, we're in conjunction with Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, you're online. So do you want to say anything?
Yes, online. I'm online, yes.
Do you want to say anything just to finish up, Elizabeth?
I just want to thank you for the presentation, and I will share this when you share the Zoom link with us. I'll share it with everyone, because I know many of the teachers are in class, and they did say that they would like to hear about it. So
sure, I'll send you the link, Elizabeth. I'm really happy for you to distribute it to anyone who wants to listen.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going to share it, and thank you for taking your time, Kathy, to come and do it. I know that the audience was, but the different groups did ask for it.
That's okay.
Because today many of them have gone out for the celebration.
Right, no problem, Elizabeth. I hope it's of benefit to people when they have a listen to it.
It is, and it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I so much appreciate.
You're welcome. Well, you have a wonderful day of the African child, and I hope you're going to some celebrations too, Elizabeth.
Yes, we are. I am actually, as I was driving with you on.
Okay. Okay. All righty. Well, you have a great day.
Same to you, Kathy. Bye.
Bye.